Today's Amud is Gimel Amud Aleph. First, we're going to chazer over from the beginning of Torah Gimel. I'm going to finish the Torah. So, the yesod of Torah Gimel is that someone who hears a niggin from a minag in Russia, it's hard for him to serve Hashem. So, we explained Al Pirad Nasan in Hilchos Apotropos that a niggin, even though we normally understand it to mean someone who sings, but on a deeper level, it means that there's a niggin of Olam Hazeh. The Olam Hazeh gives out what you could call a vibe or a regesh, and just being in Olam Hazeh means that we're exposed to that niggin of Olam Hazeh, and that niggin is what makes it hard for us to serve Hashem. And we see Vaita, the Rebbe brings an example of the koil, the voice, what we that we hear from Olam Hazeh, like the voice of Lashon Hara, that he brings down that the tziparim that the Mitzvah brings in order to be mechaper and the taken from Mitzvah, which comes about because of Lashon Hara. So it's brought down there that those tziparim are beklipa keneged the tziparim in the kedusha, which are the place where Nevi'im are yonik, which the Nevuah is also. Nevuah is like a deeper understanding of this world. So either a person betumah, he hears the Ra of this world, he hears the Lashon Hara of this world, and B'Kedusha he hears the Nevuah of this world. So he said that the Ma'aser person is in this world, and he can't just ignore it, because all the time we're hearing the niggin of this world. So what's the tikkun? The tikkun is to be able to live in this world and to be able to hear niggin of this world is to learn Gemara at night. And we saw weiter that the niggin and tikkun of niggin is the tikkun of malchus, which means the way a person sees Olam Hazeh, the malchus of Olam Hazeh. The malchus is a sphere which is always connected our hasaga Olam Hazeh. So our entire saga of this world is totally on how we hear the niggin of this world. So before a person is masaka the niggin, he hears the niggin of a gashmistic niggin. It's only through the tikkun of learning Gemara at night that we're able to be masik Olam Hazeh in a healthier way. So the Rebbe continues and the Rebbe explains the Maimer Rabbi Baruch according to this, and then the Rebbe explains that this is Pshat Mishnah of Aselech Harav Knelech Chaver Ba'avidon is called Adam Chaschos. So he said, because when a person hears a niggin, Adesha Shemei Nagina Kanal, who misakin binyan Hamalchus Shalai, because we said it's through this niggin that a person is misakin his malchus, his asagan Olam Hazeh, and that's asay l'charav. That with the niggin, with the tikkun, you're able to be misakin malchus. Rav is keneged malchus. That's the rav of a melech. And how do you do that? Through kenei l'chaver. That you should use the kana, which is like the windpipe where a person's voice comes from. You should mechaber it. Mechaber means to be mechaber the place where the koil comes from, which b'pnimis means the place where nevuah comes from. The netzach ahoy, the spheres where nevuah comes from, which is the niggin of Olam Hazeh. Now the Rebbe says weiter, when a person has that nekuda that he's masakin his asagan Olam Hazeh, his malchus. How? By hearing the niggin the right way, hearing the nevuah the right way. Then the Rebbe says yuchal limsha b'choma sheyirtza. Then now you have a memshala in Olam Hazeh, because you have the midah of malchus. That's where a person has to be done is called them chaschus. That you weiter have to continue looking in the world in the positive way, in the ruchnistic way, in order to be able to become a churban of the world. So the Rebbe says weiter, and this is why people tend to say about chazanim that they're shaitim be'enim b'nei deah, because today the malchus the kedusha is begalus, And that's why Negina, which we said comes from the place of Nevuah, which is a Meichin, which is that Nevuah is a Meichin and Das of Malchus, is not there. So, which means that we're saying that the Malchus, the person that's sug in this world, comes from a certain place. It comes from a niggin, and this niggin, that's the das to understand this world. And when we're in Galus, before a person has a tikkun, he's saying there's no das to his Malchus. There's no das to the way his masig al hasa, because it doesn't come from a place of a niggin tiktusha. So that is that we're saying that the chazan, the person who's a chazan, that he's the niggin comes out as a niggin without das, because he hears the niggin of Elam Hazeh, the nevuah, the vibe of Elam Hazeh, the voice of Elam Hazeh is without das. That's only the asid when a person's mesakin through. When a person's the asalava, every person by himself who is mesakin by himself, then he brings das into his negina, into his niggin, into his asaga of Elam Hazeh. So that's pshat pasuk. Gimel kalaretz alakim zaru maskil, and that la'asalava there will be that the zemer will have seichel. And that's also pshat pasuk. Igodol me'al shemayim chazdecho. That me'al shemayim is shemayim is koil, because a shemayim is shmata kelecho. And through chesed, which we said the chut shel chesed, the person is mamshech through Torah, the chut shel chesed, that's the being able to see the world. We said that through learning Torah Lishma by Laila, then the person is mamshech of chut shel chesed. Chut shel chesed could be to be able to see the world of oifen of chesed, and not in the oifen of kashaloi, and that's that you have a chut shel chesed, and that's how you're able to have the koil of Shemaim Hishmata Kelecha. So this is also, the Rebbe says this is the reason why a Navi had to appoint a Melech, and all Malchei Beis David were appointed by a Navi, because Nevuah is, we said before, is a binyan of Malchus. A person's a melech, a Malchus, the hasaga of Malchus of Elam Hazeh is connected to connected to Nevuah, and that's what it says about David HaMelech, that he came from Achar Alei Saviu Achar Menikos, because the Yenika of the Nevi'im is the Yenika of the Nevi'im, the Yenika of this Das, is where David HaMelech, where the Malchus comes from, because that's why David was Yedei Nagin. He had Das in his Nagina, and because Nigun and Nevuah come from the same place, and David HaMelech had the koyach to Mesakin Nagina me'achar alois from that. Even from Acharaim, even the Niggin Shaloi Biktusha. So just to summarize one more time, the word of this Torah is that the Elam Hazeh has a Niggin, Elam Hazeh has a vibe, it has a koil, and it's a koil of that's when a person hears it, it makes it hard for him to serve Hashem. He sees everything as kosher loy. And the way a person starts seeing that it's not kosher avodas sabari, that Elam Hazeh shouldn't be mafri'im, is through learning Torah at night. A person learns Torah at night, he's mamshech alav chut shel chesed. This chut shel chesed changes, it's misakin the voice, it's misakin his koil. Why? Because it brings a new das from the same place where the Nevi'im get the das. It brings down a new das to be able to see the world in a different way, to master the world in a different way, to hear a new niggin from this world, in order that you should be able to see the world in the oifen of chesed, and then it's toivloi, and it's toivloi of it. So in Mitzvah Hashem, we're going to start Torah Daled tomorrow.